Thank you so much, Mr. Fagbadebo, for joining us. Let's just get into it. Are there evidences that you've seen to actually prove corruption or mismanagement within Iran's government?
Thank you. Iran is a closed government. And a closed government, you highly know the major events in government. And because of that, you will not have a physical evidence in terms of maybe public outcry, other than what we are witnessing now, that people are protesting against bad governance, using repressive hands, not responding to protesters, and then scapegoating participants in that protest. That is a characteristic of a closed government, and you may not have physical evidence to show or to prove that there is corruption or mismanagement of resources other than public outcry that we are seeing just now.
Then would you also say that cases of inflation, unemployment, I mean, these are indices anyway, and including economic hardship have also affected ordinary Iranians so much that the government didn't seem to have answers to them?
Well, like I said, because Iran is a closed government, and at the same time, because it concentrates more on its external adversaries, trying to stamp itself in the global system with repressive hands at home domestically, it is not far-fetched to claim or to admit that there are cases of bad governance. And if the system is as comfortable as we expect, or without inflation, without crisis, without unemployment, the people may not be protesting the way they are protesting. And you may recall that this is not the first time this kind of a thing is happening. It has happened in the past, and with repressive hands. There is censorship of information, so you don't even know what is happening within the domestic environment of Iran. So one may not say that there is no inflation, there is no unemployment, and that the government has been failing in handling the crisis of governance in Iran.
So amidst repression, much of the unrest is now being blamed on foreign influence, especially from Western powers accused of, attempting to destabilize the state. Is there any credibility to this claim?
Well, one can, and the relationship between Iran, Israel, America, and by virtue of its own alliances with China and Russia, we are not all that open democracy as well. One can say that, well, it is possible that there could be external influence, but external influence cannot just work in a vacuum. External influence could come because they have discovered internal crisis. They can only work with internal crisis. It's like exactly what happened in Libya. So if there are no internal crisis, external influence will be limited, or external influence will be incapacitated. But because there is already local domestic crisis, which external factors or external influencers will have capitalized on, they work on that. And you'll have discovered that at this point in time, while America is warning Iran, there's also the rumor that Iran and Israel could engage in another fight. So you cannot rule out external influence, but the external influence will only be effective because of the internal domestic crisis, which has taken over so many other things. And that is why the government is responding with fierce hand, closing down in communication, locking down everywhere, and then promising killing people, and then promising that there's going to be severe punishment for those who are involved. I think there's a need to take a look at that, not blaming for Western intervention, but then the domestic development
is
will have influence whatever external influence is the worst.
Well, amidst these influences, let's see how the Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei will respond to this. Maybe it's going to be fight or flight in the coming days. Definitely, it will tell. Thank you so much, Professor Omololu Fagbadebo, for talking to us on the news.